This is North Sentinel Island, one of the most forbidden places on Earth. For centuries, outsiders have tried to step foot here and failed. Hidden deep within the Bay of Bengal, surrounded by dangerous waters and dense jungle, this island exists almost untouched by time. No roads, no cities, no signals from the modern world. Just forest, sand, and silence. Yet this silence is not empty. It is guarded.
Keep rowing! Don't slow! Shields up! They're on the ridge! Make for that gap, now!
North Sentinel Island is home to the Sentinelese, one of the last uncontacted tribes on the planet. A people believed to have lived in complete isolation for more than 60,000 years. Long before modern nations, long before written history, long before the world we know even existed. And they do not want to be found. Approach the island, and you are not greeted with words or gestures of peace. You are greeted with arrows flying through the air, sharp, fast, and unmistakably intentional. Not as a warning. As a boundary. The message is simple. Do not come closer. The outside world first became aware of North Sentinel Island during the era of colonial exploration. British officers navigating the Andaman Islands noticed a small landmass surrounded by reefs and strong currents. From a distance, it looked untouched. Beautiful. Silent. Curiosity pulled them closer. When they landed, the beach appeared empty. No huts. No fires. No people. Just thick jungle stretching inward like a wall. The explorers believed the island might be uninhabited. They were wrong. From within the forest, eyes watched every movement. The Sentinelese emerged suddenly armed with bows, arrows, and spears. Their posture was not curious. It was defensive. The explorers fled. Years later, another expedition returned, this time with darker consequences. British officer Maurice Portman captured several Sentinelese and transported them to the mainland. Within days, the adults became violently ill. They died shortly after. The children were returned to the island, carrying diseases their people had never encountered. That single act may have shaped everything that followed. To the Sentinelese, outsiders did not bring knowledge or connection. They brought death. From that point on, the tribe's hostility intensified. Every approach was met with force. Every attempt at contact was rejected. Over time, the island became known not just as isolated, but forbidden. Unlike most tribes studied by anthropologists, the Sentinelese remain a mystery. Their language has never been translated. Their customs are undocumented. Their beliefs are unknown. And that mystery is intentional. The Sentinelese reject contact not out of ignorance, but survival. Their immune systems have never been exposed to modern diseases. Even something as small as a cold or flu could wipe out their entire population within weeks. For them, isolation is not a cultural preference. It is a biological necessity. But survival is only part of the story. The Sentinelese have lived independently for tens of thousands of years. Their tools, hunting methods, social systems, and traditions evolved without influence from the outside world. Their identity is complete as it is. Contact would not improve their lives. It would erase them. Their rejection of outsiders is a rejection of extinction. Over the decades, fishermen drifting too close to the island have been killed. Boats have been destroyed. Helicopters flying overhead were met with arrows fired straight into the sky. Even modern technology failed to intimidate them. In 2018, the world was reminded just how serious the Sentinelese boundaries are. A foreign missionary illegally traveled to North Sentinel Island, believing he could peacefully introduce himself to the tribe. Despite multiple warnings and laws prohibiting contact, he approached the beach alone. He never returned. His death sparked global debate. Some called the Sentinelese violent. Others blamed recklessness. But anthropologists and indigenous rights groups were clear: the tribe was protecting itself. India, which governs the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, enforces strict laws around North Sentinel Island. No one is allowed within 5 kilometers of its shores. The surrounding waters are monitored. The airspace is restricted. Not to protect outsiders, but to protect the tribe. North Sentinel Island is one of the few places on Earth where modern law exists to keep civilization out. From satellite images, the island looks almost unreal. Thick jungle blankets the land. No visible farms. No smoke rising from villages. No signs of permanent structures. Just forest and beach, meeting the sea. The Sentinelese hunt using bows and arrows. They fish in shallow waters. They gather fruit and roots from the forest. Their lifestyle has remained largely unchanged for thousands of years. While the rest of the world accelerated into technology, the Sentinelese stood still, not because they were left behind, but because they chose not to follow. And that choice unsettles us. North Sentinel Island represents something humanity struggles to accept, a place that does not want to be discovered. A people who do not want to be saved, studied, or connected. In a world obsessed with exploration, documentation, and access, this island says no. We are fascinated by what we cannot reach. What secrets do they hold? What stories have been passed down for thousands of years? What version of humanity exists without modern influence? But perhaps the most important question is not what they are hiding, but what we are willing to respect. History has shown us what happens when isolated tribes are contacted. Disease spreads. Culture erodes. Dependency forms. Identity fades. The Sentinelese have watched this happen from afar. And they chose resistance. Their arrows are not acts of violence. They are declarations of autonomy. North Sentinel Island stands as a living reminder that progress is not universal, and connection is not always kindness. Some worlds survive only because they remain untouched. And maybe that is the hardest truth for modern humanity to accept. Because some places on Earth are not meant to be entered. Some stories are not meant to be told by outsiders. Some mysteries are meant to remain whole. North Sentinel Island is not just forbidden. It is protected by time, by choice, and by people who decided long ago that survival mattered more than curiosity. And as the modern world continues to expand, map, and consume, this island remains silent, guarded, and defiant. A reminder that not everything belongs to us. Subscribe for more hidden mystery.